hope your journey to join us today was not too arduous and you are now ready to relax and enjoy your cruise. If you have been already out on the open decks, you might have noticed that we are in port today with our sister ship, the Grand Princess, and also the P&O ship, the Oceana. In fact, the Oceana was first built as Ocean Princess back in 2000, and she's exactly a twin ship of the Sea Princess. In 2002, then she became Oceana and she started to sail under the P&O flags. Well, due to this unique opportunity, our main office has organized for some photo shots of the ships together to be taken whilst we are all sailing off the port here in Southampton. So Oceana will lead out, and then Grand Princess will swing in the basin, and then she's gonna come down, overtake us on the starboard side, and we're gonna be the last one then to let go the lines and follow her out. Put up a big smile for the pictures and give a big wave to our fellow passengers and crew members on the Oceana First and the Grand Princess. Once again, welcome aboard, and I'm very much looking forward to meet you all out on deck. Thank you. Oceana sailing by, and we are now just waiting for the Grand Princess. She's moving now, and there's gonna be another few more minutes by the time she's gonna be overtaking us down the starboard side. A lot of waving, a little bit of whistling, and then we will let go of our lines, thrust off the berth, and follow her out down toward the Calshel Spit, where then we will be turning to starboard and following the flow of the river out around Brambles Bank and then into the Solent. Solent is the stretch of water between the Isle of Wight and mainland Britain. Isle of Wight will be on the starboard side. We then proceed out until we will reach the Nab Tower, where our local pilot will be disembarking the vessel, and that will mark the transition from the Solent into the English Channel. We'll then set throughout the evening, we'll be entering in the busy shipping lanes of the English Channel and set various tracks which will take us out into the North Sea.
Trying to swing.
Our present position is 54 degrees and 7 minutes north and 003 degrees 29 minutes east, which places us now 128 miles east of Scarborough in the English county of North Yorkshire. After disembarking our Southampton pilot shortly before 8 o'clock last night, Sea Princess steamed south-southeast to join the main eastbound shipping lane of the English Channel. During the early hours of the morning, we transited the Dover Strait, one of the world's busiest shipping routes. For the remainder of the night and the rest of today, we will continue following various northerly courses in the North Sea, moving east as we go to near the western shores of Norway. Weather-wise, a dry and partly sunny day with sun haze on the horizon, a fresh southeasterly breeze blowing from the southeast. That's Beaufort force 5, and outside air temperatures presently 18 degrees Celsius, which is 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can expect similar conditions to remain with us throughout the afternoon. Well, with a lazy day at sea today and formal night tonight,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome here to the atrium for this special Captain's Welcome Reception. At this time, it gives me a pleasure to welcome to the microphone not only the gentleman that is going to sign the cheque for all these drinks that we're enjoying this evening, but of course the master of the sea princess. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Dino Sagani.
Thank you, good evening. And first of all, on behalf of all my ship's company, very warm welcome on board. But I was having a walk on deck out this morning and I met passengers. And he asked me, so when is that it's going to get warmer? Well, perhaps you might have been on the other ship. The Grand Princess was the one going south. We are going north. And actually, we are going very much north, that on the night before Akureyri, up in Iceland, we're going to cross the Arctic Circle. So Arctic Circle is 66 degrees, 33 minutes, decimal 65 north, and we're going to cross it only by 3 miles. We're going to be 66, 36, decimal 6. It's only going to be for 2 hours, but when you go back home, you can say, I crossed the Arctic Circle. So this is more than a cruise, this is going to be an adventure for all of you. And I do have actually one thing to ask you all. In fact, there is 60 passengers who are here on board, and I can recognize some of you there, are on board with us already from the last cruise, and they're going to stay with us until New York. And I did ask to the passenger from the last cruise an agreement at the beginning of the cruise. I will find the port, and you get me the good weather. So what about that? Do we have a deal? Excellent. So well, it's going to be beautiful. You know all the ports, so I'm not going to be here and telling you where are we going and how long we're going to stay in it. But I will do so every time we leave a port. And I like actually to include all of your cabins when I make my little speech to let you know what we're going to expect for the day after, how long the run is going to be, and everything else. There's one thing that I want to assure you, is that on board the Sea Princess, I have an excellent team. My crew here, I can find every one of them will make the best to make sure this will be an unforgettable vacation for you. So the only thing that remains for me to say is that now you have to relax. If you have any problems, just forget about it. You are here in vacation, and let us take care of you, because this is your home away from home. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Dino Sagani.
No, that's why I do.
Oh, I like your shirt. Oh, thank you.
That was just a long hello.
Oh, it does really? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, remember at the probably had that bright shirt. Yeah. Well, looks like we have nice weather.
Dus af ja, de MSC would come back.
Now, did you spend a couple days in London?
Yeah, I did.
Were you with that other couple? No. Yeah, not. My mother. That's true.
Is it the chain? No, it's just.
What? It's called his shirt. Oh.
Either of you Italian? No. No.
Just pretend. Pretend.
Do you help in the cooking too?
I don't. I do the accounting. I do the bookwork, the accounting. And he does he's on site.
He's on site.
Yeah, I'm usually at home.
But it's still working.
Yeah. It's
Welcome to Bergen, and thanks for having brought sun with you, because it's not that normal in here, and it's one of the rainiest cities all over Europe, with more than 250 rainy days per year. That's why the first thing I told you is thank you to having brought sun with you. Bergen has been throughout its history one of the most important cities in Norway because of its proximity to continental Europe, and it was its capital until 1299. Nowadays it's the second largest city in Norway, and last week we had a big celebration because the citizen number 250,000 was born. And then we will reach the Fløibanen funicular station to take our ride up on top of Fløyen, where you can enjoy one of the most beautiful view over the city. Here we are, in front of us Fløibanen funicular station. Because it takes 5 minutes to reach the top of Mount Fløyen. It's an electrically operated funicular with 850 meters of track. It was started in 1918, and it's now one of the most important tourist attractions here in Bergen. But it's actually used by locals and who commute every day from top of Fløyen and down to the city center. Of the city of Bergen. Nowadays almost all the factories are in Asia because of the cheaper hand labor. Every city has to come back to work to that would make Norway and one of the most luxurious cruise ships was built here in Bergen. It ruled the world. You can see your ship on your right hand side, Olsen, Terminalen, which is the just next to the ship, the white ship, you know, that nowadays. It was very big business. Last year, cruise ship docked at the harbour where your ship has docked. And we were driving over where there can see tower and behind.
Nej, där är inte man.
You can see the road from the current housing the UNESCO Heritage Site.
So it's 1.4, not 1.5. Yeah, that's 220 on that.
Yeah, but
Ich darf nicht die Fahne, ich möchte auch die Fahne raus. Wenn es dann wieder Posten ist, fällt er an. Herr Lette, gibt's Ihnen dann nicht auch mal die Fahne in die Hand?
Das ist fertig. Gib mir bitte, gib's mir mal bitte die Fahne. Gib mir mal bitte die Fahne. Gib mir mal bitte die Fahne. So, das mal so zu fotografieren, dass das durch ist und das Schiff drauf ist. Die Fahne.
Wie sieht das Gelände denn so schön?
Aufstehen.
Ja, ein bisschen oben ran.
Ja.
Kleine runterwerfen. Nein, da wird nichts runtergebaut.
One more view over the Lillelunge Gårdsvann, and on your left hand side the music pavilion in cast iron donated to the city by the Consul Gade in the 1880s. And if you can see on your left hand side Edvard Grieg, the statue of Edvard Grieg. On your right hand side, Torgallmenningen, the main square, and in the distance, Sankthanskirke, which is the highest building in Bergen. It's one of the few churches where you don't have to pay to visit. So right hand side, just in front of us, the brick building is the Kjøttbazaren or the meat market. In Norway, it's not allowed to sell meat at open air markets. That's why.
captain speaking from the bridge. And we are just about to recover our final gangway. All pre-departure checks are just about to be completed, and as soon as that is so, we will start to let go the mooring line. We start to thrust the ship off the berth, and then moving astern, swinging the bow to starboard, and then we will start heading out into the fjord. The transit of the fjord will be the same as this morning, just reverse route, and will take just approximately less than 3 hours. And so we are looking then to re-enter in the North Sea just around 10 o'clock. And then start to set various westerly course through the North Sea towards the next port of call, which is Lerwick. Well, the weather for the night, as we come outside in the North Sea, there might be a little bit of a moderate seas. I'm sure you have experienced last night a little bit of a movement. It's going to be more or less the same, so nothing to worry. About 25 knots of wind or something like that. Tomorrow, forecast for tomorrow is for an overcast day with also possibility of rain and temperature in about 12 centigrade or 54 Fahrenheit. Well, as I asked you yesterday to bring me some good weather, you have done an excellent job today. We got one of the sunny days here in Bergen, and it doesn't happen very often. So if you can keep doing that, I will be very much appreciated. Well, we're getting ready here to go, and here is my engineer telling me that the engine is ready. So I will let you go now, and well, whatever your plans are for tonight, I hope you have a wonderful evening on board the Sea Princess. Thank you. We expect to be anchor of the harbour of Lerwick shortly after 7 o'clock. There is no berth for us to go alongside as we are too big. In fact, it's quite a tight entrance to the bay where we will drop the anchor, proceed slowly inside the bay, turn the ship and drop the anchor. So we'll be all ready for you just after 7 o'clock to take on a very short tender run. Is less than about a quarter of a mile, so to the center of the harbour.
Good morning everyone, my name is Arnold, I'm your tour guide for the morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Arnold.
If you do at any stage get close to Shetland ponies, please remember they have two ends. One bites, the other kicks. So do not feed them, as this will encourage them to nip you. Our journey today takes us to the west of Shetland. The islands themselves have some 100 in total, of which 16 are occupied. Population of Shetland is in the region of 22,000. Lerwick itself in the region of 7,000. One of the churches here on the left has been converted into the county library. It was formerly the St Bringan's Church, one of the Free Churches of Scotland, United Free Churches. And on our left again, this was the former library, which is known as the Old Library Centre. The building on our right here is Lerwick Town Hall. It was built in 1881, 1881 I should say, and it has some beautiful stained glass windows, as you can see in the upper floor, which depict the history of Shetland from Viking times and on. The Vikings landed in Shetland in 890 AD. And the column on your right is the war memorial for 2 world wars to commemorate the dead of 2 world wars. And beyond that, the building to your right is the Sheriff Courthouse and offices of the Crown Prosecution Service, and beyond the area headquarters for the police service in Shetland, the Northern Constabulary. As we move down here through these streets here, you'll notice they've named St Olaf Street, King Eric Street, and then on to King Harold Street, all named after Viking kings. The park to your right is used as the centre for our Uphelliar festival. This is a Viking fire festival commemorating the end of the winter, the start of the spring, and with our Viking heritage, a longship is paraded through the streets accompanied by some 900 geysers, and eventually it culminates in the burning of the longship. Now if you glance to your left here as we come down the hill, you'll see an assortment of Shetland ponies. These are still bred in the islands and were in the 1850s used in the coal mines in Britain for a number of years. On both sides of the road, in fact. We're now turning right and leaving the small village of Gullfoss, another Viking name on our left with the church in the centre, a large white bay. The tanker lying off the shore there is waiting to go to fields to the west of Shetland, to Foynhaven, to collect oil and gas. We're now moving towards the village of Scalloway, and the sun always shines in Scalloway, as you can see. And this is where I live. At that time there was a number of executions that took place following trials in the castle itself, and as you go into the castle, you'll have an opportunity to go into Scalloway Castle today. You'll see the great hall of the castle where some of these trials took place. Many of the women that were involved were accused of witchcraft, and those that weren't drowned were burnt at the stake, and that took place on the hill overlooking Scalloway here, on the Gallow Hill. In the distance on your left you can see the hills which run north-south. More or less all the hills in Shetland are formed from the geological north-south glacial period, when some 10 million years ago, we had the Ice Age, etc., and that carved out our long voes and valleys. There's mention being made of the beauty of the village and the contrasting greyness of the buildings. That is due to the local stone, which we have plentiful supplies of. Some of the stone in the castle, in fact, came from Orkney, the sandstone around the windows and doors, etc. That came from the island of Ede in Orkney.
go back to the pier, you know, to any of those little lakes, past between the houses.
So we move out of Scalloway and we move up the Thingvellir Valley, or north the Thingvellir Valley now. The Scalloway School is on our left here. We then have two freshwater lochs, lakes, loch being the Scottish name, and the first one is called Astalloch, again a Viking name. It's where they do sailing, model yacht sailing off the Viking Ting. If you see the small arm extending in the loch here, the small green point to your right, That is where in November of each year the Lotting met to settle civil disputes. Project that he died, and he is in fact buried in this churchyard. He died in the early 1600s, and if you look to your left you'll see a round mound, a round burial vault with an open door. That was the Mitchell family vault, but Andrew Crawford's tombstone is still in that vault being preserved. Contains some sustenance known as subsistence farming. Shetland's crofting or farming was very much under the control of the lairds who owned the land and who exacted fairly heavy demands from their tenants. The building on our left is known as Sandwater House. Next to the loch here, Sandwater Loch, which is very good for trout fishing, and otters follow the streams all the way from here to the sea. This particular building was a coaching inn at one time, which was a halfway house between Lerwick and Hillswick, which is one of the villages far north and west in the mainland of Shetland. It was a rest where people could rest both themselves and their ponies, and they could stay overnight, and they used to have livestock sales here in the parks in the area. This is about as far away as you can get from the sea, this particular area. It's about 3 miles from the sea, and that's about as far away as you will get from the sea in Shetland. You're very seldom out of sight of either the North Sea or the Atlantic Ocean. Now this is a very good example of a voe. I mentioned to you that a voe or a vogue, this is the Nordic name, is a long narrow inlet of water, and here we have it on our right. This is Weesdale Voe. The other road to Scalloway, which we've been in this morning, is to our right here. That's known as the North Road. We came out the South Road, and we're now returning to Lerwick by veering left here, climbing the hill. You'll see a number of Shetland ponies grazing again. Nice brown colours. That's the ones that fetch the high prices. It's the light brown ones. There's a few down over the edge here on the left hand side. I hope that you've enjoyed your short visit to Shetland. We've only seen a very small part of the islands. Bearing in mind that there are over 100 islands, we're just on one at the moment. So maybe this has whetted your appetite to come back in the future. I do hope that you've enjoyed it, and that perhaps you will. And you've had the expert driving of Wilson to keep us safe on the road.
is the captain speaking from the bridge. Well, I trust you enjoy your stay here in Lerwick, very characteristic city up here, and well, weather-wise, you have done an excellent job. It was sunny this morning, and they haven't seen the sun for a long time up here. That's what the pilot was telling me. So, well, it was a good day overall. As for us, the stay here at anchor has been a bit challenging. It is pretty shallow water all around. In fact, I have spent most of the afternoon up here to make sure we were nice and safe, and it's now time to depart. We're just about to recover one of the tenders, the last of our tenders, secure the pontoon. We will proceed out of the bay here, disembark the pilot, and then start to set a southerly course initially, as we have to go around the southern tip of the island here. As soon as we are clear, then we will set our northwesterly course for the Faroe Islands and our next port of call, Tórshavn. Weather for the night, it's going to be quite a fresh northeasterly wind, force 5 to 7, which of course will give us a bit of a moderate sea. So again, overnight you will hear a bit of a movement of the vessel. It will probably be in bed by then, so it will be same as you have experienced the last few nights. This time will be from the bow, so maybe just a slight pitching, but nothing major. Weather for tomorrow. Well, again, they are giving a cloudy sky with possible shower. Well, that was expected for today, but again, you have done an excellent job, so I will expect you do it again tomorrow. Well, I hope you have a wonderful evening on board the Sea Princess, and talk you back tomorrow when we're going to be leaving Tórshavn. Thank you.
Into the Faroe Islands. Looks like it's going to be a nasty day.
the Faroe Islands and our next port of call, Tórshavn. The temperature is going to be around 15 centigrade or 59 Fahrenheit. We go alongside. It is actually, again, another small harbor. In fact, we have to reduce the draft of the forward on the bow, on the forward part of the vessel, to less than 8 meters in order to come alongside. And in fact, there will be a smaller sister ship of us, the Royal Princess. They will be at anchor and we will be alongside. Quite a nice place, Tórshavn as well. Well, that's it for me.
The Faroe Islands is the remnants of an ancient volcanic plateau. Geologists have dated it to about 50 million years. And you can see the layers of basalt. Although almost void of trees, there's a rich plant life if you look closely. The waterfalls do look very inviting, but the water, even the sea around the Faroes, the temperature is about constant 4 degrees. So the sea never freezes in winter, but it is cold. The tunnel ahead of us is about 3 kilometers, 3.5 kilometers more. We're still on the island of Streymoy. On our right is the entrance to the undersea tunnel connecting this island with the island of Hverir. We'll take that on our way back. We'll first go to the village, which is on the left. Winter could often be quite uncomfortable, sometimes the ferry not sailing and then that affecting the connection with planes. So it has made life very convenient having this tunnel. It cost about $3 million to build, and we're still paying for it. Do you see the stone ladders, the fish ladders, which help the salmon to travel upstream to the lakes?
See the fence, the stone fence on the other side?
Yeah. Often they pick a day like this when it's wet and rainy and windy, because on a fine day the birds would be there waiting for them to make the journey. We've now come to this little village of Lena, where you have the opportunity to visit the workshop of the wood turner and just explore the village if you like. We'll stop for about half an hour. Besides the sheep, which are now native to the Faroe Islands, the Faroese have a horse which is very much like, or in fact it would be a pony, very much like the Shetland pony, the native Faroese horse. It's called Sandavav, or Vagar, if you pronounce it, anglicize it. Well, it's the end of summer here and most of the birds have started traveling south. The Faroese national bird is the oyster catcher, and a little black and white bird with an orange beak.
Anyway, so you'll see other people in the port today other than the Faroese people of Tórshavn. Now, I've actually been to Tórshavn about 4 times. Probably about 6 years ago was the last time I went, and it's a lovely little spot. Some of the houses have got grass on their roofs for insulation. It's really interesting little place. So please, I encourage you, you must at some stage go ashore and enjoy the sights of Tórshavn. There's not that many islands that make up the Faroe Islands, but it is a very unique and unusual place. And it belongs to Denmark, if anybody's wondering, but it is kind of self-governed. They have their own language, which is different than the Danish language, their own flag, and they're really nice people. I've been fortunate enough to work with 2 Faroese people on ships, and they really are super folks.
The captain speaking from the bridge. Well, I hope that despite the rain and quite the cold weather, you have enjoyed the stay here in Tórshavn, quite a characteristic city up in the Faroe Islands. As per ourselves here, we have everybody is on board now, and we're just waiting for the official to disembark. We will then get the gangway in, and then we will start to maneuver off the berth. It's quite a tight squeeze this morning. Actually, I had to come in very slowly, as I only have about 300 meters there, and we are 260, so 20 meters forward and aft in between the buoy and the breakwater there. So I have to proceed very slowly astern, and then as soon as the bow will be clear from the end of the dock, start to thrust the bow to starboard, and then gently moving off to the east. As soon as we cleared then the bay outside, well, I had 2 options. One was to go north around the island, and the other one was going south and then back to the west. I will go south and back to the west, although it's going to make a little bit longer for us. This at least will make it a little bit more comfortable for you during dinner time. There is quite a bit of a swell outside there. We have encountered this morning coming in quite a bit of a strong wind with a moderate sea, and that's what we're gonna find as well later on. So by going around the island south, we're gonna be entering again in the open water just around 9 p.m. This evening. There's gonna be again, same as we experienced last night and early this morning, a bit of a pitching movement of the vessel. So more or less what we have experienced so far, maybe just a little bit more. The good news is that this low pressure that has been with us today and last night is now moving to the east, and we are now moving west, so it's actually going to be decreasing rather than increasing overnight, which is good news for us. And we're going to proceed up towards Iceland. Tomorrow is going to be a day at sea, and as I said before, we're going to cross the Arctic tomorrow night, or actually in the early hour of the morning before arriving at Akureyri. Well, nothing else for me to say up here. Again, I hope you enjoy your evening on board. It's going to be quiet for you until 9 o'clock, and then we're going to start to bounce a little bit. Again, nothing major, but a little bit of a pitching movement, so just as usual, keep attention when you go up and down the stairs and moving around. Of course, stabilizer will be loud, just to make sure that we make it more comfortable as possible for you. Well, we'll speak to you then tomorrow, day at sea, to relax for you, before we get up to Iceland. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
For this reason, you will now see the coast of Iceland on our port side. After 9 o'clock this evening, we will cross the latitude 66 degrees 33 minutes north, marking our entrance into the Arctic Circle. It is north of this line that you'll find the land of the midnight sun in the summer months of the Northern Hemisphere. On that cheery note from all of us up here on the bridge, we wish you a pleasant day at sea on Sea Princess.
Now tomorrow we're going to be arriving in Akureyri in the northern part of Iceland. Anybody been there before? No, and somebody's been. I heard a yes then. Can you call the bridge and let them know how to get there? They're struggling at the moment. No, we'll be alongside 7 o'clock. It's actually right in a fjord, right? About 2 hours into a fjord. Alongside 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, of course, we're not anticipating glorious tropical sunshine tomorrow, but you never know. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Outside right now, it's actually beautiful, the weather. So let's keep our fingers crossed for a lovely day in Akureyri. Now, for those of you going on a tour and doing that sort of stuff, don't forget to read your tour ticket. It'll tell you where to meet and what time to meet. If you're not going on a tour, then you can just head into the town, go and spend a few $100s on a couple of cups of coffee, and join us back. 3:30 is the all aboard time. Please be back by 3:30. Shortly after that, we are going to let go the lines and we will head off towards, of course, the capital city of Iceland, which is Reykjavik. Now, when you get back, for those of you that like a little bit of a challenge, tonight, let me talk about tonight quickly before I'll skip back to tomorrow again. Tonight, at around about 9, just around 9 o'clock, we, the Sea Princess, will cross the Arctic Circle. Yeah, so I don't know if you're out on the open decks looking out. Basically, I don't know if you've crossed the equator. It's very similar to the marker buoys or buoys on the equator. They're red, and the ones in the Arctic Circle are blue. So if you're out on the deck, you've got your camera with it, try and get a photograph of them, because I still always miss them, because I've always got the show. So if you get a photograph of the marker buoys for the Arctic Circle, please try and get me a photograph so I can see that. We're going into the Arctic Circle just for a couple of hours. We actually go up around the tip of the north of Iceland, and then we come back out of it again and head down south towards Akureyri.
We indeed have crossed the Arctic Circle, and I have to welcome you all in the Blue Nose Society as a tradition of the Merchant Navy for those seamen who cross the Arctic Circle.
And a warm welcome here in the north of Iceland. Well, it will be warmer today, well, they say it at least. I would like to present myself. My name is Julian, and the name of the driver today is Björn. Tell you what we're going to have a look at today. We will spend half a day together, and most of the time we'll be in the area of Mývatn, the lake of the midges. We're going to spend a couple of hours there in the east part of the country, the northeast part of the country. But first of all, we drive here out of Akureyri, the capital of the north, and we move over to the other side of the fjords and drive direction Goðafoss. Goðafoss, this is the waterfall of the gods, a historic, famous waterfall. And we will have half an hour over there for you to take some nice pictures and to have a walk as well. It takes us about 40 minutes to drive to this waterfall. After the waterfall, we directly drive into the area of Mývatn, and our first stop will be at Námafjall. This is where the bubbling mud pools are. It's the high temperature area, and I would like to ask you already yet now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very dangerous area, please take care. But I will tell you more about that later on. After Námafjall, where the bubbling mud pools are, we drive already back, in a way, and stop at Dimmuborgir, the dark castles, the bizarre lava formations. There we will have a walk together in this very special labyrinth. And after that we go for coffee break. It will be at Skútustaðir. Skútustaðir is the place where the false craters, the so-called pseudocraters, are. And we will have coffee at about 11 o'clock. And after that we will just have a look around those pseudocraters after coffee, and then we drive back to Akureyri, and we're supposed to be here about 1 o'clock. And once back at his farm, that is close here on our right side, close to the mountains, he took out all his old statues he had from his gods. He went to the waterfall that were only a couple of 100 meters away from his farm, and he threw them all into the waterfall. And since then, the waterfall we are going to have a look at has the name Goðafoss, Waterfall of the Gods. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We will turn here to the right side, and I would like to explain. In front of you, you see the house with the blue roof and the yellow house, the big one, and the smaller house to the right side. In the yellow house there are toilets on the right side, the smaller house, and also in the house with the blue roof there's a little restaurant, a souvenir shop where the women here in the area, they are just showing their things they have made over winter time. and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this stop here at the waterfall Goðafoss, the waterfall of the gods. Because the lambs in Iceland, they are born in May, often after the 10th of May, some earlier. And when they are about a couple of days old, they are marked. Every farmer, every farm has a special mark on their own and a number, a plastic number in their ears, and then they're ready for life. And their life is rather short because most of the lambs, they are only produced for the meat, so they live from May to end of August, beginning of September. Mývatn is the fourth biggest lake in Iceland, about 38 square kilometers in area. The lake itself is not very deep, on average about 2 meters, but the deepest part is about 4 meters. And a lot of volcanic eruption were here, and some ducks here gathering together. They also feel that now it's autumn and soon winter is knocking at the door. You will probably also see some geese and swans. We have the whooper swan here, and they are gathering together now to make themselves ready to leave. The lake itself, as I mentioned, is about 38 square kilometers in area. In front of us you see this huge lava field. We know exactly the date of it. It was the 27th of August 1729 when this lava came from our left side towards the little village here in front of us with the name Reykjavik. Because here we are in fact in the center of the volcanic activity. We are entering the most active volcanic area of Europe. The little village here is the center of the area, has everything people need, even hotels, more than one, school, kindergarten, swimming pool. There is also a camping site here on our right side, but I've heard that people don't really like this camping site because they normally just stay one night because the midges, yeah, might be a problem. The camping site is down here. You see some of the tents still down here. We are turning to the left. Direction Egilsstaðir. Still on road number 1. Egilsstaðir is the center in the east of Iceland. But we are heading here towards the smoke. This is a geothermal area. And stay on the pass. This is the most important rule today for the moment, because the soil is very thin, the crust is very thin, and you can break through if you don't walk on the paths they are indicated. And I can tell you the next hospital is far away, ladies and gentlemen.
Go down and walk down here?
Not down it.
in a way on our way back. But here on top of this pass we are going to stop and give you the possibility to enjoy the beautiful view and take some pictures. But we call this kind of Kodak stop. You can maybe also call it Fuji stop. It's up to you, but it means you get out of the bus, take a picture and come back again. To the left side, ladies and gentlemen, you see this huge crack here. This huge crack. Here's one example of the Middle Atlantic Ridge. We are moving from America to Europe and back again today, several times. This crack moved 5 meters during the last eruptions, 1975 to 84. Whole 5 meters. And stop at Dimmuborgir, the dark castles, the bizarre lava formations. There we will have a walk together in this very special labyrinth.
Yeah.
I did. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is the secret. Bear's cave.
A nice view now here over from the right sides. Little islands in the lake. Pretty nice landscape. The swans over there. A very romantic view. Yeah, the question once again here was about this little bridge we crossed in Dimmuborgir. You remember? We went from America to Europe. We go for coffee break. It will be at Skútustaðir. Skútustaðir is the place where the false craters, the so-called pseudocraters, are. and we will have coffee at about 11 o'clock. And after that we will just have a look around those pseudocraters after coffee, and then we drive back to Akureyri. So you have many possibilities there at the place we're going to have our coffee.
That's what I said.
I'm not coming back with you.
Very nice, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we drive back to Akureyri. You also have seen some swans. And I would like to tell you a little story about the swan that happened to our family. My husband and I, we are owner of a big farm with about 250 sheep, over 120 horses. We have guinea pigs, we have rabbits, we have cats, and we have a dog and chicken. But one sunny day in July a couple of years ago, we got another visitor. It was a swan. We saw that he had a broken wing, and we just let him be on our, he was in front of the house on one of the fields. And then he was at the farm itself and started to knock at the back door one day. And well, I opened and he just stood there with Námafjall. Yeah, here we are. The fjord of the islands. It cannot be closer than that.
God. Oh my God. What kind of whale is it?
Brown bottle.
Oh wow, look, little one. I can't. They don't. It's
Oh, wait till
hard.
it comes out. He's gonna stop. There it is. Oh my God. Oh, made my day.
That was not on the program.
Really, that
That's
was
extra.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow. It jumped up. Yeah, right, we're all watching, so yeah.
Oh, look at that. I can't get pictures. I miss looking at it. I know.
Oh,
wow.
God.
The name is the northern bottlenose whale.
Bottlenose. Looks like a dolphin.
And well, it can happen that there are whales coming here into close to Akureyri, but normally there are other kinds. So this is very seldom that we have these northern bottlenose whales here. But they say that it's the mother with a calf, and they thought that the calf was ill, and that the mother just wanted to be here around to give him the chance to survive. And it looks like that he does it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Swimming in circles around here.
And very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking from the bridge. Well, I trust you have an enjoyable day ashore here in Akureyri. All bridge and engine room pre-departure check has been satisfactorily completed. And very short, we're gonna start now to let go mooring lines. I will then thrust the ship off the berth, come astern as soon as the bow is clear. Thrust the bow to starboard, and then it's going to be a full ahead toward Reykjavik. It's going to be approximately 2.5 hour transit here in the fjord before we're going to be out in the open sea again. We will then set variously westerly course to follow the Icelandic coast. Later on this evening we will then start to put the bow southeasterly for approaching tomorrow morning the next port of call of Reykjavik. I know the cruise director is actually organizing in about half an hour up by the Riviera pool a ceremony for the crossing of the Arctic Circle, and something further for whoever will be brave enough to jump inside the pool will enter also in the Sea Princess Polar Bear Society. So something fun to do up there. Well, I won't be there. I will still be inside here on the bridge driving out of the fjord. But I wish you all to have a lot of fun. And make sure you put some cover up, as there is quite a chill weather out there. Well, weather forecast for the night. Well, we're going to be again in the open sea. However, it's not going to be as glassy as it is now. There's going to be a little bit of movement, but nothing major as we proceed down to Reykjavik. Well, it was going to be overcast today, but you have played again your magic, and we have seen another sunny days. So, well, you are welcome to do so tomorrow and all the days that are coming. Well, it's time to me to go there on the bridge wing and start to drive. So I wish you all a good afternoon at sea, and I'll talk you back tomorrow from Reykjavik. Ciao, ciao.
Because we've gone into the Arctic Circle, we're going to have a little event that is all about how you can become a member of a specific club, and that is having a swim in the swimming pool for more than 5 minutes. We're going to do it at 4 o'clock, 5 minutes, and you get a special certificate to say you did it. Whoop-de-bloomin' do, eh? I'm really going to freeze myself to death for a certificate. God, I bet the grandkids will be chuffed with that. Look at that! I got a certificate. I swam in the swimming pool. Big day.
Alright, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. In the pool! Alright, let's get the last few people in there. Hey, right, good for you guys. 15 seconds so far. Yeah, you guys look like a bunch of polar bears to me. White and fluffy. He's going formal in the pool, the bow tie. Everybody wave to Alex over there at the other end of the pool. And thank you for leaving the ice cream for me to eat. You're past the minute mark, folks. She's going to be the youngest polar bear. Ooh. I know it's a very challenging thing, isn't it? Standing there, but what they don't realize is they all have to get back out when we hit all the towels. I know, she's in there. There you go. The littlest polar bear. All right. We're just about at the halfway point, 2.5 minutes. I can't hear you. Look at all the people watching you. They're not in. Is the water warm? Why aren't you guys in there? You came to go. Well, jump on in. Oh, your page is done. How convenient. 3 minutes, 16 seconds, folks. Oh, and the sun's out for the final minute, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to go away just as you guys get out. Ready? We've got 20 seconds left. We're going to do a 10-second countdown, everybody. So here we go. Wait, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you guys ready? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Polar Bears Club. Congratulations, you've completed your 5 minutes. You're welcome to come on out at your leisure. Grab your towels, warm yourselves up, and we'll get you your Polar Bear certificate. Congratulations, everybody. You did a fantastic job. We hope you guys enjoyed it. For those of you just living vicariously through our polar bears.
Okay, we are going to do the Golden Circle. We are first going to stop at Þingvellir National Park, the National Park of the Parliamentary Plains. Then we're going to stop at the Geysir, or the Geysir. We're going to the Golden Waterfalls, or in Icelandic they are called Gullfoss. And we are going to have lunch where the Geysir is. Then our last stop in the countryside will be in a small village in the south of Iceland. And there is a place called Eden, a greenhouse where we are going to stop. And the last stop here in town will be the Pearl. The Pearl is a vantage point. So you have, it's a storage for hot water. And there are 6 tanks, and on top of the tanks they have built a viewing platform. So then you can have a look over all of the city, almost. That will be our last stop here in town. Then we drive back to the harbour over here where your ship is. Then the weather forecast for today is sometimes maybe a little bit of rain, a little bit drizzle, sometimes a little bit sunshine, like we have now. If you take a look here on your left hand side, you can see the Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's very handy because this little town also has the biggest chicken farm in Iceland. But does anybody know what the national dish is in Iceland? I hear some people saying fish. I also hear them saying sheep, but fish would be the best option. Ridge runs through Iceland. It enters the island in the southwest, so in this corner of the island, goes through the island and leaves again in the northeast.
2 chests full of English silver. King Athelstan gave me.
This program doesn't allow you. Usually we do. We walk through.
Lillian, here I press menu, and you can use this to go down and get camera mode.
Get in?
Do you want to Okay, here we go.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can look into the screen. Don't look into the holes.
Why not?
You want me to take a picture with you?
Oh no, that was a
You don't want to be in it?
We're trying to figure out how it works.
Between.
So, what about Greenland? Belong to the North American or Eurasian?
This is the North American, but this is really no man's land. I mean, it's between.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can see the black line, you see?
Yeah.
So that is another fissure like this over there.
And what plate is that one?
Eurasian.
Eurasian.
On the other side.
Okay.
So you can look down there and this is where
No, wait, this is the line. Europe.
He wanted me to set the date, so I went scrolling down, ignoring the date.
telling you.
I don't know how you cite this. All you see is a black, practically.
Look this side. No.
Shoot me.
They were calling us. I said, I should have said one round is too small. I have to make another.
Basket.
On your left you can see some Icelandic sheep, a mother with two of them. highlands of Iceland in the summertime, and they end here in the south. So it's also possible to go on a vacation over here and go on horseback for a week or something and cross the highlands. Going to the golden waterfalls, or in Icelandic they are called Gullfoss. And this area over here is also the area very close to the epicenter where this heavy earthquake was, the 29th of May. And this heath goes to the capital area. Many people drive here daily, on a daily basis. And here is also the office of the Prime Minister and the office of the President. But the presidential residence is also in the capital area, so not in Reykjavik itself. But he lives very close by. We also have lots of universities, 13. And you can see the main building of the University of Reykjavik in a few moments on our left-hand side. We have about 16,000 students in university, 16,000. And in front of us is the Pearl. We are going to stop there very short, only 15 minutes, a quarter of an hour, to be able to make it back on time to the ship. Take either the stairs or the elevator. You have to take the elevator to the 4th floor.
So they're renovating the church? Yeah. Oh, this one here, yeah. This is the big redoing.
Yes, yes, yeah. Beautiful spires. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can see a big white church and there's scaffolding surrounding the tower. They are renovating at the moment.
I got it once.
This is very close to the center of Reykjavik. You can see it by the houses, they are much older. The ones on the right hand side, maybe from the 1930s. Made out of concrete. They started building houses made out of concrete in the 19th century in Iceland. And the government pays a part, the biggest part of the bill, but not all of it. And if you are frequently ill, you have to pay lots of visits to specialists and doctors, you get a discount card.
A discount card?
I see the Sea Princess is still there. It's a wooden house, was built in 1909. And as you might have noticed that we don't have many trees, so there is not much wood in Iceland. There wasn't either in 1909. So if you wanted to build a house like this, you had to order it from a catalogue, and it would come from Norway.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking from the bridge. Well, look like our Arctic adventure is about to be started. As you well know, I am here keeping a very good eye on all of the weather forecast. And there is a developing gale just east of Cape Farvel, which is the southern tip of Greenland. We are about to round that cape just about the early morning of the hour before approaching Nanortalik in Greenland. It is a strong gale with gale force wind and of course associated rough seas. The gale is moving towards the east, and if I'm pointing straight down to that cape, I will face it directly. So I took the decision to instead go west directly toward the coast of Greenland, which will keep us farther north of this low pressure, and try to round it by then paralleling the coast of Greenland down to Cape Farvel. Well, even though we will be northern of this gale, of course we will encounter moderate seas and possibly at the time during the day of tomorrow a little bit of a rough weathers. However, if during the course of the night or during the day at sea tomorrow the conditions are getting worse, I will not hesitate to reduce the speed of the vessel in order to make sure we are all safe and more comfortable. Indeed, this may as well, of course, impact our arrival time over there. Well, at the moment, it's just a matter to go ahead, and as I said, I'm going to take this westerly course, which is going to take us north of the bad weather, but we are sailing towards Greenland. Once again, enjoy the evening, and well, I talk you back tomorrow morning then. Thank you.
We're sailing for Greenland today. We're off the coast of Greenland. Moderate to rough seas overnight.
Gentlemen, this is the captain speaking from the bridge. Well, it doesn't look very good at the moment. It's still quite strong wind down there, much stronger of what we have up here at the moment. Condition at present, we have about 30 to 40 knots of wind, which is about 35 to 46 miles per hour. And the status of the seas that we have, of course, is a rough sea. I'm sure you have all managed to understand that by yourself. It's about 2.5 to 4.5 meters, or 8 to 15 feet. And this is the good part, because south at present the sea status is very rough and over 22 feet with a wind speed over 50 knots. That is just before our destination, Nanortalik. This is on the southern tip of Greenland, Cape Farewell, which we should be rounding overnight to reach our destination. Well, the plan is at the moment we are still moving west on the top of this low pressure and bad weather. And, well, as I mentioned yesterday, during the night, just about 2 o'clock in the morning, I had to slow down the speed of the vessel a little bit because we were starting to pound in the bow on the swell, and to make it more comfortable and also more safe. I am now proceeding again to closer to a good speed. It's not maximum, but it's good enough to be there tomorrow. However, I have to keep a very close eye to this weather forecast. Although the depression is moving east, and plan, as I said, is to get closer to Greenland. In fact, about 5 p.m. this afternoon, we should be about 80 miles off the coast, and then start to paralleling on a southwesterly course down the coast of Greenland. And we should then see what the conditions are tomorrow morning, which will be just about after 5 o'clock, and take the decision if the conditions are good enough to round Cape Farewell. Unfortunately, at this stage, I cannot predict myself how it will be, as of course I have a different forecast, and if the sea state is that high, it won't be possible for us to give an attempt. Cape Farewell is a little bit like South America, like Cape Horn, although perhaps the condition on this side looks quite good. As soon as you put the nose out, you're going to be hit with the swell very, very fast. So I have to make sure that before I give an attempt, the conditions are good enough for us to do so. Otherwise, I have just to slow down and wait behind until conditions are better. Unfortunately, as you know, after Nanortalik, the next destination, St. John, is another high speed, so I don't really have much time to wait behind the corner. So as it stays at the moment, we are keep going towards Greenland, and for those of you who were up on deck this morning, I'm sure you have seen that big chunk of iceberg. We had about 15 miles on our starboard side. We are all alert, of course, and the Royal Princess is actually in front of us in the same condition as we are. Unfortunately, they already had to take the decision to cancel their first port of call in Greenland, which was Nuuk on the other side, due of course to the heavy weather that it is south there, and the fact that they couldn't make the speed for it. Their voyage was planned for 2 calls, and the second call is on the 9th, just on the other side of Cape Farewell. And for that day looks already better the conditions. So they are just in front of us, and they are steaming at 8 knots. They are a smaller ship, as you remember. We were together with them in Tórshavn. They were outside, and of course they feel the swell much more than we do. Well, as soon as I have some more information, I can give you an update before you go in bed this evening, just by dinner time, on the status of the process. But as I said, at present, I'm going ahead, and well, I'm keeping good eye on the forecast. The company as well is doing the same for us ashore in LA. bring me some good luck that you have already given to me throughout the cruise. That will certainly help. And if we see any more iceberg, we will let you know, so there's something nice to see as we're getting close there to Greenland. I hope that overnight and during the morning and the remaining of the day, this movement of the vessel is not too uncomfortable for you, as I'm doing the best that I can here, try to face the swell in the better condition for the ship. I have also to take the decision to change the formal night because, of course, it's not an appropriate one to do it tonight, and there were some party organized where I was indeed to attend. Unfortunately, I'm spending all of my time up here, as you might well understand. So we're going to postpone now the formal night on the 9th, I believe. Well, once again, I hope you enjoyed the remaining of the day at sea, and well, we shall see this evening how the conditions develop. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all from here, from the bridge. I'm sure you all understand, and thank you, and talk to you again later on this evening. Thank you.
All of you, but if you would like to come on down and take some photos, take a closer look at the fruits and vegetables, they will be here on display for a few minutes for you to come down and see a bit closer. Thank you very much for coming along. Let's hear it one more time for our three boys.
From childlife, you want to watch that?
And very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking from the bridge. Well, I hope your day at sea was not too uncomfortable due to the movement of the vessel. Up here we have all done our best to try to find smoother water, and actually at the moment we are in the eye of the low pressure, and this is the best place to be, as I said before. And I hope you are managed to enjoying an enjoyable dinner now. Well, it is not too bad at the moment. As I said, it's about 2 meters swell, it's about 7 feet, and the wind is variable, it's coming from the north. In fact, the swell is actually mixed, a little bit from the south and from the north. We're going to keep this weather now for most of the night, but then as we get closer to the southern tip of Greenland, it will start to bump a little bit more again. At present, we are following a southwesterly course, paralleling eastern coast of Greenland, and we are just about 70 miles off the land. As per the forecast, it is actually improving down at Cape Farewell, still showing quite a strong swell. But of course, forecasts are not always 100% correct. So before rounding Cape Farewell towards Nanortalik, I have to ensure that when we approach of it, we get some more update from the local weather station to see what the conditions are exactly. And as I said before, looking at the forecast at the moment, it does look better. However, there will be swell there, so the vessel will be moving, and of course I want to let you know before I do that. So I will wake you up if you will be sleeping still around 7 o'clock. As per the ETA of Nanortalik, either way we go at present, I don't think we can achieve to be there before noon. However, I hope you understand that this is a big achievement, as I told you already, that our sister ship, which is actually in front of us, not that far away, has already cancelled their call here in Greenland, the first call. So I hope you understand and you bear with me. Again, bring me some more good luck so we can manage to be there and let you step foot in Greenland. Again, I will do all that I can, bearing always in mind that your safety is my utmost priority. On the good side, I have some positive news from my staff electrotechnical officer. we have back our satellite connection for your use, so internet, cellular phone, and all the remaining of the communication is back online. So that is good news. And for the rest, as I said before, we keep proceeding down towards Cape Farewell. And I'll come back to you in the morning with further updates. Well, the only thing remains for me to say is that I hope you enjoy the evening on board the Sea Princess, and make sure that up here we all do our best to make sure this will be a more comfortable trip for you. Thank you very much. So I hope you had a good sleep, and well, I thought we are a little bit ahead, and I thought I had to wake you up because the scenery outside there is absolutely fantastic. If you look out on the starboard side, you see the southern tip of Greenland, and as it is called, this is the end of the land. If you're on the starboard side, you can see a big iceberg just 2.5 miles from the ship side, and we do have one on the port side as well, so perfect time to wake up and open the window if you have an outside cabin, or just come up there and have a look outside. It is fantastic, and positive news is that we are going ahead. We will be rounding Cape Farewell in just about an hour time, so I thought I'd give you a heads up and give you the time to just get prepared. The ship, of course, will move. There will be some pitching and rolling, but it will be comfortable to go through. It will be safe to go through, but we will be moving a little bit. So, as usual, extra precaution when you move around up and down the stairs and within your cabins. And it will be about an hour time once we'll be a beam at the very end, and probably in the next 3 hours or so we're gonna be again inside the sheltered waters, proceeding towards our port of call, Nanortalik. So as I said, it's looking good to be there by 12 o'clock. Of course, I might have to reduce a little bit when we are at beam Cape Farewell due to the swell, but this will not affect our arrival time around noon, as at the moment I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. As we arrive, there is a little bit of wind inside there, so of course it will take quite a bit for us to prepare ourselves to take you ashore. So please, there will be an announcement made for you to let you know when we are ready to take you ashore. Once again, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and I will speak to you after arrival. Thank you. course, about the weather that were coming up as we were rounding the cape. It was pretty actually comfortable. It was, although the wind was 50 knots and about 4 meters swell, about 14 feet. However, I have slowed down as we were passing the worst of it, and I hope it wasn't too bad for you as we were coming in. Still strong wind coming in, so it was very easy, but we managed to come inside nice and safely. We are now with the anchor down. However, the wind is still pretty strong, so everything is still on standby in case the wind increases, so we are ready just to make sure we keep a safe position. As you can see around, we are pretty close by, rocks everywhere. Well, the temperature outside, pretty chilly, is about 5 degrees or 41 Fahrenheit. We are just now in the process to prepare the pontoon, and our first tender is already ashore, picking up the officials. And as soon as we are ready, it's going to be not long more, we can start then to take ashore. And please bear in mind, of course, that it's about 10 to 15 minutes rounds with the tender to get ashore. And of course, we are running all our tenders, all the 4 tenders. However, when you will be ashore then, on the way back to the ship, especially if you wait towards the end and the last tenders to depart, there might as well be quite a queue over there. So just in case, make sure that when you go ashore you get extra covers, very chilly there. And if possible, try not to wait the last minute before you're coming back. As you can see from the ship, it's not quite a big city to visit, so hopefully after 10 minutes you'll be ready to come home. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, and well, we'll talk you back. I will talk again to you before we leaving Nanortalik. Thank you. Hope you appreciate the effort.
We are sorry all the different times, but everything has been turned around because of your delay. We will do our best and our performance are ready. We have some children that make folk dance for you, and you will probably think, is that Greenlandic folk dance? Yes, it is, because it is influenced by the whale hunter from the 1500s time. Then when they went here to Greenland, and they influenced the customs, how they dance and things. So it is perhaps the same you can see in the States, or you can do it in Spain. But this is Greenlandic here. That's where we are, folk dance. It's not drum dance, but it's folk dance.
we're going to sing is Amazing Grace by Nelson Mandela in Greenlandic.
And that was the last performance for you today. I hope you enjoyed the choir and the dancing.
We did. We did.
And thank you very much for the performance. It has been a great pleasure to have you here. And we are sorry for the delays and the change in programs, because the weather is our master always in Greenland. Perhaps in other parts of the world too. But anyway, we will wish you all a safe return, and thank you for visiting us in Nanortalik. And take care in the big world.
Captain speaking from the bridge. Well, welcome back on board in the warm temperature of the Sea Princess. I hope that the queuing that you had to go through to proceed ashore and to come back from the village has not spoiled the experience of stepping foot into the Greenlandic land and the village of Nanortalik. I hope you understand that we all made a big effort as turning inside this morning with 50 knots of wind and carrying out a tender service with 30 knots of wind, holding here with anchor propulsion thruster to make sure that the tenders were able to come alongside and proceeding ashore on the only landing berth available for us was not an easy one to make, and I hope you appreciate that we have all tried our best in order for you to experience Greenland. Well, everybody is back on board, and we are just about to secure the pontoon. And as soon as we will be all secure and set for sea, I will start to recover the anchor. As soon as the anchor is up, I will have to swing the bow to port and then retrace our course between the rocks outside to the open sea. The weather out there is still a strong wind, blowing more than is inside here. So we are looking at about 40 knots of wind outside. and the swell is also coming from the northwest, and it's probably going to be more or less what we left this morning. So again, as we come outside, we will experience movement of the vessel. There will be some rolling, of course. Stabilizer will be out, and I will try to make the best speed in order for you to be comfortable. The good news is that as we will be progressing on the southwesterly course, we will be moving away from this bad weather. So we are looking for a nicer day at sea tomorrow. Just as a matter of interest, as we will be proceeding out, there is a couple of icebergs which are actually grounded in the shallow water, so nice for us to see as we go outside. It's in this location, after the iceberg carve of Greenland's glacier, they drift into the Labrador Sea, which is the arm of the Northern Atlantic Ocean between eastern Canada and southwestern Greenland. And this is the part of water which will be crossing towards St. John. So those icebergs, after carving of the glaciers, they move out at sea and they follow the Labrador current. So as we come outside, I'm sure we might be seeing some outside in the sea. Well, it's time for me to go to work here again. Not that I have left the bridge at all today, but we are ready to sail now, and I hope you enjoy the sail out of these waters. Again, as we are coming out, there is a couple of sharp alterations I have to take, so the vessel will be rolling during these alterations, so please keep extra attention until we go out at sea. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and I hope you have enjoyed this Greenland experience. Thank you.
Okay, so that's what they're doing. They're mixing, they're grinding. That's why they got the big batons. It's also for unruly passengers. You know, I just use the microphone. There it is, the rum. Alright, in it goes. And of course the shake is part of the drink. If you don't put love in the shake or the stir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking from the bridge. Well, I'm very regretful to say that we have to cancel today's call here in St. John. The weather condition is not changing, and the pilot now is eager to get off, as there is forecasted weather to remain the same. So it's nothing for me to do than, unfortunately, to cancel today's call. I'm sure if you are out on the open deck or on the window, you can see that the wind is still the same as we came in this morning, still blowing over 35 knots. And for us to get inside, the pilot wouldn't advise me if the wind go below 20, which it's not the case today for sure. So I'm very disappointed, and I'm sure you are more than I am, but there's nothing else I can do at this stage. So we'll have now to turn the ship, give some lead to the pilot boat. The pilot will disembark, and we'll slowly turn around and set heading for New York. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, I can apologize for today's alteration, and sincerely hope that this change, these missing ports, will not affect the overall enjoyment of your time on board the Sea Princess. And I hope you will have the remaining of the day at sea. Enjoy the evening, and well, tomorrow it is a formal day and a farewell party, so I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you then tomorrow. Thank you. As per arrival tomorrow, we are looking to pick up our pilot about 4:30. Then, as we will make our way towards Brooklyn, so we're sailing inside, we will be passing below the Verrazzano narrow bridge just before 6 o'clock. And then going up, we will see the Statue of Liberty just around 6:30. Should be about 1 mile off the port side. And that is where I will stop the ship, swing around, and then proceed asternway towards Brooklyn, and where the berth is waiting for us. We are looking to be alongside just 7:15 in the morning, and then get the gangway connected and make the ship ready for you to get off. Weather condition for tomorrow: the sky looks to be something like partly cloudy, and the temperature in a high of 25 centigrade or 78 Fahrenheit. So it looks like it's going to be a nice day tomorrow as well. Good opportunity to wake up tomorrow, and if you haven't been in New York before, it's going to be a nice view on the way inside from 6 o'clock and on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to wish you all a safe and pleasant journey home. I really hope you have had a very enjoyable time here with us, and I very much look forward to hosting you again on the beautiful Sea Princess or any of the other princess ship I will be in command. In fact, I only have less than a month left on here, and I will take command later in November of the Dawn Princess down in Australia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks a lot. It has been a beautiful adventure. And until I see you again then, or as we say in Italian, arrivederci. Thank you and grazie.
Getting a taxi. It's not that far.
Are you walking home?
No, too many bucks.
I'm ready back.
Still have yeah, it would be nice if the sun will break through. Yeah, it's trying to be gorgeous over there. Okay, I'll be right back.
Have a safe trip home.
once it eases up, that'll be a nice picture downtown. It's too dark. This lit.
Another few minutes and I think we'll get more natural light.
We're supposed to be in the big window at 7:15, ready to pull our things off of here. And we've done that. It's manipulating the cities. And the county. I'm assuming getting away is going to be last. Wow, look at that house.
You see that it's not that spiky,
Let's move this a little more. Yeah, let's move it over a bit.
So this area is...
And right on the other side of Brooklyn, the other side of the bridge is Queens, and that runs as major. And he could run alongside that. He could do it. If he could back and stern in. Yeah.
Whiskey.
Well, we got a little bit.